up and running. We're going to begin our service on page 24 of our Siddurim. Page 24 of our Siddurim, so we're going to begin with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei El Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei V'Malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bolechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei El Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ham and John, would you like to light our Shabbos candles for today?
Come, let us welcome Shabbat.
May its radiance illuminate our hearts.
Light is the symbol of the divine.
The Eternal is my light and my salvation.
Light is the symbol of the divine within us.
The human spirit is the light of the Eternal.
Light is the symbol of the divine law.
For the mitzvahs a lamp and a Torah a light.
Light is the symbol of Israel's mission.
I, the Eternal, have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, O eternal our God, who makes our lives holy through divine mitzvot, and who has commanded us to kindle the Shabbat lamp.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat joy.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat peace.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat holiness.
Amen. Amen. We're going to continue with our service on page 27 with Lechai Zoizi. And last week I offered the opportunity to do a different melody. It's the melody that John used to do. We can do either one today. What would you like to do? The one we do every week or the one that John typically does? The one that we do with John? Alright, we're going to switch it up tonight. Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu echad miuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Lishem tiferet v'litila, Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, Ki hi mekor haverecha, Mirosh mikedem nesuka, Sof ma'asa b'machshetila. Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Hi ori, Kiva oreh kumi ori, ori, shir daveri, kavod Adonai alai nigla. Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom atzeret bala, Gam b'simcha u'b'tzolach, Tov emunei am segula. Boi kala, Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha doiti likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. We face now the ark as we join together for the Hatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitgadash Shemei Rabba. B'yamadi brachirutei b'yamleich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yoimechon u'chayetecho be'Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv b'yameru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mivorach Le'olam olam me'almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kudashah Brechu Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran v'alma v'yameru Amen. Page 30, we join together for the Baruch Hu, we face the ark. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMivorach Baruch Adonai HaMivorach Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMivorach Le'olam Va'ed. Page 31. Eternal God, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, not let your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv ha'ravim. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who brings on the evening. Page 32. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, hukim u'shvatim, otanu le'madeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu u'kumeinu, natziach bechukecha, b'mizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'orach yemenu v'hem negeya yomam v'lalala v'ahata el tesir mimenu le'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. At the bottom of the page, we join together with the English translation for Ahavat Olam. With eternal love, you have loved your people, the house of Israel, Torah and commandments, statutes and judgments you taught us. Therefore, O Eternal our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we would discuss your statutes and rejoice in the words of your Torah and your commandments forever. For they are lives and they lengthen our days, and we will meditate upon them day and night. May you never remove your love from us forever and ever. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who loves God's people, Israel. Page 33, we join together for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated for the Yahata on page 34. V'yafta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meotecha v'ayu hadivarim ha'eleh asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinatan levanecha v'dibarta bam Vishitecha v'veitecha u'v'letecha b'derech u'shachbecha u'komecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha v'ayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'yisharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem ekol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Le'yot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 35, we join together for the responsive reading. Eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares.
Let them beat their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, let them study war no more.
You shall not hate another in your heart. You shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Let the stranger be in your midst, you as the native, for you were once strangers in the land of Egypt.
And the house of bondage you went forth for freedom. So let all be free to sing your joy.
Page 36, we join together from Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Ba'alim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora Teilot Oisei Feleh, מלאכותך ובניך בקיים לפני משה זה אלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי יפרע אדוני את יעקב ובאומר חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Page 37 calls us, O eternal our God, to lie down in peace and to awaken us each morning to life renewed with strength. Spread over us the holy shelter of your peace. Together.
Help us to order our lives by your counsel, lead us in the paths of righteousness. Be a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow.
Curb also within us the inclination to do evil and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Guard our going out and our coming into life with peace from this time forth and forever.
Blessed are you, O eternally, whose holy shelter of peace is spread over us. Over all God, the people of Israel, over Jerusalem.
Page 38, we join together for Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat le'doretan berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat le'doretan berit olam. B'nei Obeng b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Bishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat le'doretan berit olam. Ki shesh yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat le'doretan berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash Shabbat v'yinafash Shabbat v'yinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat le'doretan berit olam. Page 39, we're going to join together for the Amidah prayer. We rise at this time. Adonai sepetatitach ufi yagita hilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Ha'gadol Ha'gibor v'Hanorah El Elyon, Gomel Chasedim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chastei Avot B'imahot, U'mevi Ge'ula Lifnei B'nechem, L'man Shemo B'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magi Avraham B'ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Ata Rav Le'Hoshia, Mashiva Ruach Omarit HaGeshem, Mekalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Samech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatzir Asarim, Oy Mekayem Emunato L'Sheinei Afar Michamocha Ba'Givurot Umidon Melech Melech Mimit O Mechayei O Masmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atah L'Chachayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Kadosh, Yishim HaKadosh, Koshim B'chol Yom, Ya'alevu Chasela, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We daven silently until page 47, where we will join together for Oseh Shalom. Once you've completed davening, you may be seated. join together now on page 47 for Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom Libromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Ve'imru Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. V'yemeru, Amen. All right, we are at Parshas Vayishlach, and anyone would like to share anything about this week's Torah portion? Go ahead, Pam.
So Jacob leaves Laban's, and he's headed back, and realizes he's gonna see his brother, who he's terrified because last time he saw his brother he wanted to kill him because he took the birthright. So he sent a bunch of messengers to find his brother, and and they came back and said his brother would meet him. Again, he's absolutely terrified, and the night before they meet, he wrestles with people have different interpretations of who the man is. It could be God, it could be an angel, and he wrestles all night long, and he holds his own until the night is done. And realizing he won't give up, he touches his hip, and kind of he walks with a limp from then on out. He said, he said he won't give up until he blesses him, and the man asked, "What's your name?" And he said, "Jacob." And he said, "You're no longer Jacob, you shall be named your name is now Israel." And anyway, then he goes and he meets his brother, and he butters him up with all kinds of gifts, and they embrace and they hug, so I guess he forgave him. And he said, "No, you don't need to give me all this." He said, "No, I really do take them." So then they go to Shechem, and that's when I think his name was also Shechem. He rapes his daughter Dinah, and then Shechem's father says, "Hey, let my son marry your daughter." And they said, "No, not unless you circumcise yourselves, all of you in the town." They said, "Okay, we'll do that." So they all did that, and then Reuben and Simeon, when they're like recovering and weak, go and just slaughter all the men in the town, and Jacob's like, "Why did you do that? Like, you just made my life a lot harder." I'm totally brain farting here at this part. I do remember what happened, but yeah, that's and then he builds another pillar to God, because God commands him to, and tells him that once again that his name is Israel. And and then it ends with the description of how Esau has become this great, large, and prosperous nation. The Edomites, and
correct, yeah.
And that's
There's a lot to be said about that. I mean, you shared a lot of great thoughts. There's even more to be shared. I don't normally talk about the Dinah scene because I mean it's something that is it's violent and but there's much to be said about it. In this group of people, I think it would be safe to talk about it, but you never know when maybe one of the kids coming in today and you don't know, and I just have to scrap everything I said and just say, well, what do you guys think about this week's Torah portion? Anything else we want to contribute? Anything for today? No? Okay. Going once. Going twice.
I have a lot of opinions, but I'll save it for tomorrow.
I know. So I got the text message. From you as well.
That thought came. I was like, I need to text Rabbi. I'm going to forget this.
how prevalent was it for people during that time to have multiple wives and multiple children?
Pretty prevalent. Pretty prevalent. I mean, it was still pretty prevalent in the Middle East until fairly recent too. So it's only formally outlawed, and it's not formally outlawed in a lot of the countries in the Middle East to this day. So
Didn't let Laden have a lot of wives?
I was gonna say, I think.
yeah, he did, and
I
then
think Muslims are allowed
we
to have a lot of
I will talk more about this afterwards. It's kind of off topic, but yes. All right, so we find ourselves in Parshat Vayishlach now, and it opens with Jacob standing on the threshold of a moment that he's avoided now for 20 years. He's about to meet his brother Esau, the brother he deceived, the brother that once vowed to kill him, the brother whose face has now haunted him in his life's journey. And Jacob has wrestled with many encounters throughout his life, but the encounter in Vayishlach, it demands a different kind of courage. It forces him to confront not only Esau, but the person he used to be. And Jacob prepares in the meeting with a threefold way. He sends gifts, as we pointed out, he engages in prayer, and he divides his camp for strategic protection. And these three actions reflect not only tactical planning, but a deep emotional, spiritual readiness as well. The gifts that Jacob sends, they can be seen as an act of reparation. Whether the gifts or not actually repay the blessing he took is up for question, but Jacob is signaling that he is no longer a man driven solely by self-interest with this act. He gives from what he has earned, and he opens a hand where a fist was once clenched. And the gifts are a gesture of humility and acknowledgement of the past wrongdoings and his willingness to rebuild trust. The prayer Jacob offers is raw and honest. He says, I am unworthy of all the kindness and truth, and I have shown myself as your servant. And this is the first moment in the Torah where Jacob articulates a sense of personal unworthiness. And it is a remarkable transformation from the young man who once said, sell me your birthright, and dressed himself up in another man's clothing, securing a blessing. And now he stands before God, not in a disguise, but exposed, fearful, humbled, and aware of how far he has come. The strategic preparations reflect both Jacob's realism. He does not assume prayer alone will protect him at this point. Nor does he trust that the gifts will be enough. Instead, Jacob embodies a core Jewish principle, that is, to pray sincerely and act responsibly and understand that spiritual life does not negate practical obligations. Yet the most transformative moment of this week's Torah portion occurs not between Jacob and Esau, but instead it occurs between Jacob and the unnamed man who wrestles with him until the end of the night. And the sages, they interpret this mysterious character in a variety of different ways. Some interpret it as an angel, as Esau's guardian spirit, as Jacob's own conscience, or even as the shadow of oneself, the echo of the man that he once was. Whoever the man is, the lesson is clear. Before Jacob can meet Esau, he must first meet himself. The struggle lasts until dawn, and Jacob refuses to let his opponent go until he receives a final blessing. And the moment is critical. Years earlier, he sought blessings through deception, taking what was truly not given to him. And here he asks openly, demands truthfully, and he is willing to wrestle for clarity rather than to seize it by stealth. It marks a maturation of Jacob's character itself. The blessing he receives is not wealth, not protection, not prosperity. It is a new name, the name Israel. For you have struggled with God, with men, and prevailed is the translation. And this name signifies not victory, the sense of domination, but instead of perseverance. And Jacob refusing to give up on God, on himself, on the possibility of reconciliation is the message. When dawn breaks and Jacob limps away, he is both wounded and blessed at the same time. The limp is an enduring reminder that growth costs something. No one wrestles with their past, with their fears, flaws, and emerges unscathed. But the wound does not weaken Jacob, it humanizes him instead. It makes him more capable of an authentic relationship, and so that Jacob can meet Esau in one of the Torah's most unexpected scenes. Esau runs towards Jacob, his brother, and not with a sword, but instead with open arms. And the two brothers, instead of fighting, they embrace and they weep at this time. We cannot know whether Esau has truly forgiven Jacob in his heart, but we do know that the encounter is a peaceful one. It is tender, and it is free of violence. Something reconciliatory, and it does not require perfect alignment of past narratives. Sometimes it is only requiring willingness to meet another person with a softened heart to achieve reconciliation. And this moment invites us to ask, what would it take for us to approach those we fear, those that we have wronged, with such humility as we see in this week's Torah portion? Who are the Esau's in our lives, who we avoid because of the conversations that they feel too heavy, too complicated, or too painful? Who are the Jacobs within us, the parts that we fear accountability from, the memories we'd rather keep buried, the wounds that we would rather not wish to reopen? This week's Torah portion, Parshat Vayishlach, it teaches us that avoidance is not peace. Peace emerges from encounter, from wrestling, from the courage to look at the faces we have fled away from and say, I am ready now to stand before you honestly. This week's Torah reading, our Parsha, also teaches us that reconciliation, when possible, may not imply total reunification. Jacob and Esau, eventually they part ways. They travel in different directions. They embrace each other in a genuine way, but it does not necessitate an identical future with one another. This nuance speaks directly to modern lives, and that is, healing does not always mean returning to the way things once were. Sometimes it means acknowledging the bond, honoring the moments of connection, and then continuing on distinct but respectful paths. As we read this week's Torah portion, Parshat Vayishlach, may we continue to cultivate Jacob's courage to wrestle, his humility to apologize, his faith to pray, his wisdom to prepare, and may we learn from Esau's surprising capacity for compassion and Jacob's long and difficult journey towards integrity, and may we embrace our own transformations even when they leave us limping, knowing that every genuine struggle brings us closer to becoming Israel, people who strive, who persevere, who continue walking forward towards dawn. Keni Yiratzon, may it be God's will. Amen ve'amen. We now turn to the Misha Berach prayer in our Siddurim. Misha Berach prayer will be, before the Misha Berach prayer is read aloud, I'm going to read the names on our Misha Berach list. After these names are read aloud, if anyone would like to add any names, please do so at that time. Today's Misha Berach list includes the following names: Pri Mauricio, Asher Ephraim, Kenya Zabadik, Susie Sokol, Miriam Cohen, Evelyn Levy, Ira Roth, Esther Captain, Sharon Wander, Courtney Zabadik, Jerry Garfinkel, Austin Volk, Jay Sinkoff, Carol Fantel, Yvette Zamos, Harry Satin, Rich Bernaldo, John Manziano. Are there any additional names that we would like to add to the list for today?
Dolly and Roger Bloomfield,
Dolly and Roger Bloomfield,
the Hockenberry family,
the Hockenberry family,
Frankie Barr,
Frankie Barr,
Kel Davis,
Cal Davis,
Deborah Callahan.
Deborah Callahan,
Yes, Gabriel Levesque,
Gabriel Levesque,
Mike Costello.
Mike Costello. Okay. The words to the Misha Berach prayer may be found in our Siddurim, so we join together. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor Abrecha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor Abrecha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We join together now for the Elena on page 49. We rise at this time. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol la'teit gedula li'atzeh breshit shelo atzana kiki aratzot v'lo samanu kimishpechot ha'adama shelo sam kalkenu kachem l'gor aleinu kichocham anam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'madim lifnei melech malchei chamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Sha'unotei Shamayim v'yosir haaretz U'moshiv yikaro b'shamayim nima'al U'shchinatu zo B'govhei meroimim Hu Eloheinu ein od Emimokenu efazulato Kakatuv b'torato v'yadata hayom v'hoshivota el avevecha ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim ima'al v'al ha'aretz mitachad ein od. Page 50. We therefore hope in you, O eternal our God, soon to behold the splendor of your might. Then will false gods vanish from the earth, and the idols will be utterly cut off, because they'll roll through the sovereignty of the Almighty. Then will all acclaim you as their God, and forsaking evil turn to alone. Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend, and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, O eternal our God, let them humble themselves, and to your glorious name let them give honor. Let all accept the yoke of your dominion, that you may rule over them soon and forever. For the dominion is yours, and you rule in glory, as it is written, the eternal will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad. U'shemo echad. We now turn to page 52 for the Mourner's Kaddish. In just a moment, I'll be reciting names from our Yurtzeit list, and then afterwards I'll be reciting names of members of our community who have recently passed. After the names have been read aloud, if you are observing a Yurtzeit or in the period of Shloshim of their loved one, please share with us their names so that we may pray for the elevation of their neshama to Shamayim above. Today's Yurtzeit list includes the following names: Stephanie Kaplan, Howard Jacobs, Eva Saracen, Esphir Brover, Jesse Schuster, Sylvia Davidoff, Naomi Fisher, Myron Tannenbaum, Eleanor Benner, Beatrice Miller, Herbert Gallowitz, Gussie Blumenstock, Elsie Flasig, Philip Balstein, Kate Sayowitz, Arthur Lewis, Howard Friedman, Zahava Gabe, Stephen Lichtenstein, Alan Axelrod, Mildred Samotin, Irving Ginsberg, Caroline Natras, Michael Berkovitz, Jose Katz, Sidney Applebaum, Lena Cohen, Benjamin Saracen, Anna Estrin. Recently passed from our community are the following names: Sam Perlman, Gussie Blumenstock, Michael Berkovitz, Marcy Victor Banks, Christina Alana Scholar, Marissa Kosky, Evelyn North, Betty Martin, Lenny Popper, Fred Mushkel, Jeffrey Milstein, Phil Garfinkel, Evelyn Sheff, Shoshana Elana Bat Devorah, Eli Oster, Roy Smith, Faith Small, Elaine Gordon, Ruth Tobel, Alan Netterman, Regina Pasternak, Ruth Das, John Hockenberry III. Any additional names for today? Yes.
April Dolch.
April Doge.
Bob Levinson,
Bob Levinson,
Julie Marks,
Julie Marks,
and Mayor Richard Pucci.
Mayor Richard Pucci. Any additional names? Okay. If it is your custom, please remain standing for the Mourner's Kaddish found on page 52. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash Shemei Rabbah
Amen.
Be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich machlutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael v'galav v'zman kariv v'imru amen Yahei Shmei Rabbah mevarach l'olam olamei almaya Yishbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnasei v'yitzadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei v'kodesham v'rechu Laila mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabamin shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oiseh shalom v'imroma v'ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved, and let us say, Amen. You may be seated. All right, I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to ask as I'm walking over, does anyone want to give the announcements? Because there's no one on the board here today. No? Okay. Open for anyone. Okay, I'll do it. There's a food drive that is ongoing, winter clothing drive, new hats, gloves, and scarves are available, children and adult sizes. Please drop them off in the office. Deli Man movie is on Sunday, December 7th at 1 p.m. We have a Hanukkah party for December 9th on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Talking with the Rabbi Wednesday, December 10th at 11 a.m. Strumming for Shabbat Friday, December 12th. Helmeta Menorah lighting is on Sunday, December 14th at 4:30. The Monroe Township Menorah lighting at the Senior Center will be on Wednesday, December 17th at 5 p.m. Then save the date for our Hanukkah service and dinner with music from Avi on December 19th. More information is in our weekly email for events. If anyone has any questions, you can send Stephanie an email and she can get back to you with any event information. Go right ahead.
Yes, question to you.
Yes.
When they're having the one for Monroe Township,
Yes.
I'm hoping you have been invited.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
We wouldn't be announcing it. It would be very
Just wanted to make sure.
ridiculous to be announcing it and then Rabbi's not there for it. So
I
yeah.
wanted to make sure you'd be there.
Yeah, of course I'll be there. And this year they're not back to back with one another.
Okay.
Again, the other rabbis may not all be there. I can't account for what they do or don't do in their time, but I'll be there. So, and we don't have to go from one place to the other like we did last year and try to get there very quickly. So,
I was speeding, I remember.
it's all right. Well, we don't have to speed this year. It's no rush in between events. They're days apart from one another. So.
And Abby is gonna be at the senior center next Friday doing jazz music,
You will? Okay, can you send that to me as well?
but you're not a senior.
No, I know that, but we can send it to our members. I mean, and last year they allow me in if he tells them I'm like a relative or something, and then they allow me in, so.
Well, you can, dye your beard.
Yeah, he gives them a secret passcode and I can
It's
come
2
in.
o'clock next Friday.
Okay, alright, sounds good. Alright, thank you. If you can send that to me, I'll also send it out to the community as well. Alright, we have page 52, we're going to join together for Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Teren Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'et Nasa V'Chevzo Kol Azai Melech Shamo Nivra B'Yachai Grei Kidlo Takol Levado Yimloch Nora V'Hu Haya V'Hu Hoveh V'Hu Yiyeh V'Tifara V'Hu Echad V'Ein Sheni Lehamshilo Le'achbira B'li Reishi B'li Tachli V'lo Ha'oz V'Hamizra V'Hu Eli V'Chaya Goali V'Tzor Chevli V'Yesara V'Hu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi Beyon Ekra B'Ya'ado Akid Ruchi B'Yetishan V'A'ira V'Im Ruchi Geviyati Adonai Li V'Lo Ira. Good Shabbos everyone, Shabbat Shalom. We'll join for the Kiddush in just a moment. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh yeah, there was one thing I